What's going on, everyone? We're back with another YouTube video. I'm John, this is Parker, and guys, the number one question that you ask all of us all of the time in regards to our cleaning businesses are, what is the best ad platform roster that you guys can have in your cleaning business to be able to scale you to 10K a month, 20K a month? You see my Instagram stories, you see Parker's Instagram stories showing us the revenue that we're making every single month, and you guys are swiping up. How did Parker do 35K in January? He said that he's not running too much organic, it's strictly paid. What does he use? So this is exactly what we're gonna be getting into today in this video. We're gonna be showing you guys the best ad platforms that you guys could be getting set up now. And in a matter of just a couple of weeks, you could be implementing them within your business, in your service area, and you guys can have the roster tech stack of ad platforms that we use today.
So guys, I'm not only just going to tell you exactly what I'm doing, but I'm going to show you. I'll open up the ad platforms that I'm using, let you know a little bit of information into the settings, how I optimize them, why I've started to use certain platforms in certain ways. Not everything that I'm going to share is going to be exactly pertinent and relevant to every single location, every single business style, but I can tell you that what I've experienced in a Midwest market, in a mid-major city, has worked. This is working extremely, extremely well. And I know that every strategy that I'm going to share could be just minorly tweaked to work in just about every single geographic location in the US, assuming that you have the proper sales strategies and you're actually able to make use of the leads that are inevitably going to come in. So without further ado, I'm going to jump into the first lead generation platform or ad platform that we're using. And today I only want to talk about paid traffic, and that is going to be Google LSA. This is one of the most common ad platforms that people are using right now for lead generation. And well, the reality is that's for a reason. And that reason is that the lead quality is exceptionally high. It is one of the more expensive platforms, but that being said, the lead quality, I believe, is unmatched. And there's a few key reasons why, but I'm going to open up my dashboard for you. I'm going to show you guys exactly what it looks like, what my settings look like, and then break down exactly why I love the platform and how you can optimize it.
And if you guys aren't familiar with what Google LSA is, Google Local Service Ads, essentially in 2024, 2025, everyone just uses the internet now. They use Google to get an answer to all their questions. So if you go to Google and you search cleaning services near me, if you're a consumer, you have an apartment, you have a house, you need to get your place cleaned, that's most likely what you're going to be doing, unless you already know someone that has a cleaning business and you already have their direct contact. If you didn't know that, you would just go to Google and you would search cleaning services near me. You'll see a Google guaranteed badge, which Parker will show you in just a minute. That is all of the Google LSA accounts that are set up on that ad platform. So it's the very first thing on Google, and then they can directly call you. They don't have to go to the website. It just shows the business name, the amount of reviews that they have that you can view, and then the call to action is either call or message. That is Google Local Service Ads, and you'll only be getting charged for leads that is from someone that is calling within your service area, and they're asking for a service that you offer. So it's, again, like the highest quality lead that you can get on Google, and we're about to show you in real time right now.
So before we jump into all of this, make sure you've got a pen and a piece of paper out, or you've got your laptop open ready to take some notes. If you haven't already, make sure you hit the subscribe button, subscribe to this channel. We're going to be posting a lot more high-level breakdowns, actually going into the nitty-gritty of not just starting and scaling, but also operating a remote home service business. I've been able to scale myself up to having 4 full remote home service businesses running under me and a 5th one on the way that I should have in the next couple of weeks here. And all of this was due to implementing the exact strategies that we're going to be sharing for free on this channel here. So let's dive right into Google LSA. Now, as John mentioned, there is something called the Google Guaranteed Badge. And if you didn't know, the Google Guaranteed Badge, this is a sponsored listing by Google. Google Guaranteed is Google's way of saying, hey, consumer, if you book a service or anything through the Google Guarantee on your Google homepage, and then that person doesn't do the service, we will actually guarantee that your funds are safe, that, so much so that we'll reimburse you if there's a problem. Now, the consumer doesn't know that. They do not know that. But this is why Google is able to sell ad space at the very top of their page. Now, people who run Google ads, people who run pay-per-click ads, there's a lot of people that might even encourage you to do that when you're starting out with your home service business. But I'm going to encourage you to think critically here for a second. And look, when I typed in house cleaners in Madison, Wisconsin, right? This is a service area that my business operates in. What do the results look like? The first thing we've got is, well, of course, the Google Guaranteed section. So I've got my first two options right here. Again, paid Google Local Services ads customers. Now I can click show more and I can see even more Google Guaranteed paid services. Great. Now, if I don't want to look at the Google Guaranteed, say I notice that this is sponsored and I want to skip by it, the next thing that we see is the map pack. So this is Google Business Profile. This actually shows up on the map, not necessarily based on anything to do with ad spend. This is your profile for your business, also known as GMB or GBP. So this is my business's GBP right here, Google Business Profile. You can see the reviews, see our location tag. It's a little bit outside of Madison, but it's got our profiles, it's got our reviews, all of this, so on and so forth. Great. But this shows up number 2 after local services ads. Well, what shows up next? Now we're starting to get into the actual organic listings, the actual SEO, or what would be Google pay-per-click ads. Now, if you see on Reddit here, look, my business is ranking very high on Reddit. So this is giving me organic SEO right here. Now, this is where your sponsored ad comes in. Look how far down on the page. And the main sponsors are Thumbtack and Care.com, which are aggregators, not even businesses. This is why I tell people the odds of you seeing an ROI from pay-per-click or pay-per-view Google ads is next to nothing. Your best bet is that you show up right here. Do you think the consumer is going to get to here, and after they had to go past this and this and this and this and all of this and all of this and the map pack and all of are they going to ever make it to there? I would argue no, they are not. So this is why we designate our money, our capital. When we have to spend it, we put it towards a pay-per-click, not a pay-per-click. We put it towards a pay-per-lead ad platform. So I'm going to jump into my Google LSA dashboard. Right now, my ad is actually turned off, but that's why you don't see us right up here. But I am going to take you inside of my LSA dashboard right now and start to break that down for you. So I'll see you on the inside right there. All right, now let's take a look at Thumbtack here. Thumbtack is another one of my favorites, but there are two very important things that you need to know before you start to venture into the realm of Thumbtack. So we're looking at my dashboard here. You can see right now not showing up. Again, I have my ads paused for the moment, so not showing up in any search results because my ad is off. But we've got our whole platform here. You can see the profile where it has your reviews, what services you offer, seeing how you rank in your area, etc. Unfortunately, I did have this one just terrible review, which was very unfortunate. It was really just this woman had false expectations of the service, which is totally fine. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. You can't cry over spilled milk. So we did have that one that has hurt our ranking a little bit, as reviews are a big part of any ad platform like LSA, like Thumbtack, whatnot. But what is important about Thumbtack is something that I like to call speed to lead. If you are not the first one to get to the lead, your odds of closing them are going to decrease dramatically. And what I mean by this is, in Thumbtack, unlike in LSA, it is also pay per lead, but it is pay per lead from the standpoint of once a lead comes into Thumbtack's algorithm, it is then pushed out to numerous different service providers. So it's not only going to get pushed to me at Madtown Maids, it's also going to get pushed to this cleaning company and that cleaning company and that cleaning company and that. It can be up to 7 or 8, and it can be as few as just you. But in general, it's going to be somewhere around 3 to 4 cleaning companies. Now, we all will receive that lead's information at the exact same time, which means one thing. Whoever gets to that lead first is almost always going to close them. That person will almost always pick either the first person to get a hold of them or the cheapest person. And with our business model, with the remote model, because we are competing against owner-operators and W-2 business owners, we are not going to be able to compete on price. We're not going to have the cheapest prices. It's just not going to happen. But if we are first and we're good on the phone, we very well can still close. And the cost per lead on Thumbtack is much lower. In fact, I would recommend, if you are trying Thumbtack out, you slide your cost per lead all the way down as low as possible. Now, this will make your cost per lead going to be lower, but it's also probably going to limit the amount of leads you get in. But get comfortable with your processes for closing these leads, with your processes for the first outreach, the follow-up, etc., etc., etc. This is because you are not going to be able to handle a huge influx of leads if you're not ready with what your script and your outreach and all of that are going to be. Now, I have perfected my Thumbtack outreach method, so I feel very confident that if I set a higher budget, I'm going to get more leads, but I'm going to close those leads. So again, there will be a ROAS, or a positive return on ad spend. That is something that I know anytime I have ads on, I will be able to achieve. Now, Thumbtack, again, big takeaway here is speed to lead. And then the second big takeaway that I mentioned is you will have to be comfortable applying a little pressure. A lot of people, because they know that they're going to get quotes from 4 different service providers, are going to be like, okay, yeah, great. Well, you're the first person that got a hold of me, so let me wait. I'm going to hear what other companies are quoting, and then, we'll go from there. No. You're going to have to apply a little bit more pressure. You're going to have to create some FOMO, create some scarcity, create some need to book for whatever reason. And then that is going to allow you, once you've applied a little pressure, to get them across the finish line. And there's a bunch of different ways to do that. You can do the method of, no cancellation fees. So let's just get you on the calendar. You can do the method of scarcity. Our schedule's almost full. There's a cleaner that's going to be perfect for you, but she only has 1 appointment left this week. You can do first time caller discount. Hey, just because this is your first time calling in or first time being on the phone, I'll give you an extra $30 off, but that goes away when you call back. Something that's going to create a little bit of urgency for the customer to make that booking in that moment, right? Now, this isn't the sales video, so I'm not going to go that far in depth into it, but Thumbtack is another platform that I love. Thumbtack will spend your money. They will give you leads, which is great, especially if maybe your LSA is a little bit slower right now, or maybe you're having trouble with approval. Thumbtack can be a great tool to get started, but you have to be fast and you have to know how to sell with a little bit of pressure on the customer. Otherwise, you will be burning money in the beginning. And again, this is all about positive return on the ad spend. Lighting money on fire just to get a lot of calls, to spend $1,000 on ads, to do $900 of cleans is not a business. You're donating. You're just donating to Thumbtack or LSA or whoever else. So now we're going to jump into my third ad platform that I use regularly, that I do like, and it is one of the most heavily debated ad platforms in terms of its quality, but I do believe that it has a place in your ad spend, and that is Yelp. So now we're going to dive into my Yelp dashboard, and I'm going to show you guys exactly what I do there and why I do it the way that I do. And now last but never least, we have Yelp. Now, I know some of you probably just cringed right now. Some of you are probably thinking, Yelp, no one makes money on Yelp. I've never heard someone say they like Yelp. Okay, it has a place in your ad spend, as I mentioned. Now, even at our size, even a business that did $500,000 last year and should do close to $1 million this year, we still use Yelp. And the reason why is because it does bring a lot of hay. And every once in a while, you find a needle in that haystack. Every once in a while, you find a diamond in the coal. And if you are bringing enough hay for cheap enough, you will still see a positive return on ad spend. Ultimately, none of these decisions are fueled by how I feel about the platform. Do I like them? Do I think that they're working? These are numerical decisions. It is simply put, just I spend this much, I make this much back. Is that a profitable transaction? Is that somewhere that I should continue to spend? Now, in places like Thumbtack and places like LSA, that spend ramps differently. I find with LSA, the more that I spend, the more that I make. Give me as many leads as you can possibly give me. I want them all. I find with Thumbtack, there's a happy medium. More is better, but at some point, if you go like unlimited budget, let's say, you are going to get a lot of leads. They're going to give you so many leads that it becomes less and less profitable in my experience. Now, again, this is based on data. On Yelp, interestingly enough, I have found Yelp to be very profitable on an extremely small budget. So I run Yelp on a $5 a day ad that spends $150 every month. Now, if you do the math, $150 is 1 to 2 cleans per month. That's it. Now, I could get easily 50 leads in a month from Yelp, and I truly may only get 3 cleans from it, but it is still a profitable return on ad spend. This is still something that is worth me spending. Now, in the same vein, would it be worth for me to double to $10 a day? I've tried it. It's basically break even. $20 a day? I've tried it. It is not profitable. Not for me, not in my market, because I will get marginally more leads as I increase my spend, but I will spend significantly more and I will make marginally less. So the spend to return ratio does not allow for you to ramp. Yelp should not be a main ad platform because, again, there is constraints as to how many leads you can get while retaining your profitability. Unlike LSA or Thumbtack, which are a little bit more uncapped. You can really turn those up and get more and more leads and still remain the same level of profitability in terms of a percentage wise, and then become obviously more profitable on your total dollar amount out the door. Yelp is not like that. So I run a simple Yelp ad on a $5 a day budget, and I always keep my eyes peeled for promotions. So you'll see here in my overview, if I go to my Yelp ads page, I can see details on the impressions, number of leads, ad clicks, etc. Right? I have only got $6.85 as my cost per click. This makes this incredibly cheap for me to run. And now here, even for just February 1st through 5th, I have spent almost $50. But that will average out now over the entire month because I've set my max budget at $150. And I will still get leads through the end of February despite being at a maxed budget. Now, I've actually received 3 calls, 52 website visits, 189 messages, 244 leads with 17 more forecasted for February already at this point. And this is marginal, tiny ad spend. $5 daily average, $150 monthly max. And I received 20 leads in the last 30 days. So on 20 leads, and again, Yelp wasn't even running this entire time. 20 leads, 1 close is going to cover my monthly spend. Maximum 2 closes is going to cover my monthly spend. So I don't mind spending. It's not a problem. I'll have a lot of keywords. I'll have a lot of everything. And the other thing that is always very nice is if you go to your billing section, which I'm not going to log in right now, but they oftentimes have a lot of promotions that reward you for continuing to run ads, or even go as if you're going to cancel. And they have a lot of promotions for spend $150, get $150 back. Spend $300, get $300 back, or just get $300 in ad credit if you keep your ad running. Very, very nice way. Free incentives for you to continue using Yelp ads. So Yelp has a place in the paid spend, but it should not be your leader. All right. We've talked about LSA, we've talked about Thumbtack, we've talked about Yelp. These are my three main paid lead generation platforms. And now we're going to break down really quickly the nitty gritty of paid marketing and the lens that you have to view it from to be successful and justify your ad spend, not just in the short term, but in the long-term growth of your business. So now that we've covered all three of these main paid lead generation platforms, Yelp, LSA, and Thumbtack, it's very important that we look through paid marketing, paid advertising, through it a very, very particular lens, right? It's very easy to get caught up in the one-to-one spend to return. And while that is very important, we should always aim to be profitable on that. It is even more important that we look at the LTV of our customers. So this might be something that requires you to actually have a revenue tracking sheet where you put in where every single customer was found from. So this will not only allow you to say, okay, well, in January, Kevin called and he booked a $300 deep clean, and that was from Yelp. So I spent $150 on Yelp leads that month, and then I made $150 in profit off of Kevin's clean. Well, Yelp is a wash for me. Okay, well, what about in February when Kevin then starts a bi-weekly basic service? So now Kevin's paying, say, $200 every other week, or even $150 every other week. Well, that means you made $75 profit twice in February. So now Kevin's also paid for your February Yelp ad spend, and actually will pay for your Yelp ad spend every single month to follow. So the LTV of the customer is extremely important, and that's why we're okay spending a little bit of a premium when we're acquiring customers in the beginning, because we're not going to have a lot of organic traffic, and every single customer that we close is not just a one-time service. Whether they are just a one-time service or not, they can also become a referral. They can become a 5-star review. They can become another service 3 months down the line when they need another deep clean. They can become a weekly, bi-weekly, monthly recurring clean, or maybe they just refer a neighbor, a friend, a colleague when they need a cleaner because they had a good experience with you. So while yes, we want to be profitable on the one-time service ad spend, we want to spend $1,000 and in that same month make back that $1,000 and more. When we look at the LTV of our customers, and I can look back and see that customers that I sold through Google LSA back in November of 2023, back in January of 2024, more than a year ago now, are still on my books getting recurring, or still calling every few months for a deep clean, or still have a 5-star review that's influencing new people to book. The value of that $40 lead or $10 lead or whatever is so much greater than just the one service. And if you only look at it through the lens of the one service, you are going to get very discouraged early on in the business. And you may not even give yourself the 3-4 months that you need of runway to see how the ads are actually panning out.
And if you guys are watching this and you're like, what the hell is LTV? What does that even mean? It just simply means lifetime value. So like when someone comes into your ecosystem and you guys get them to book a one-time clean, now it's like, okay, how much money are they going to be making you over the course of that relationship? So like what he was saying with Google LSA, just don't look at the fine print, don't look at the black and white. If someone comes in, you spend $40 on a lead and they book a one-time clean, but then you have a CRM platform like Clean Genie, which we offer inside everything with the Academy. You guys can get that set up and you guys have a targeting campaign at them, whether they outreach you or you send them an email and then they reach out saying that they want another service, which turns into a recurring clean every week, every 2 weeks, every month, whatever that is. Now their LTV has increased because instead of spending $187 for that one clean that you got after that first service, now they're paying $150 every single week, every single 2 weeks. So their LTV has now increased because they're making you money month over month rather than just that one time. So, I mean, you can, like what Parker said, you can have all this in a data sheet. There's CRM platforms, other different kind of tech stacks that you guys can have inside your business. We can help you with that if you guys already have a cleaning business, or if you're already thinking about getting one started and you kind of want to see the ebbs and flows of how to get everything like that set up. But I mean, these ad platforms, you got to just have that mentality where it's like they are going to turn into recurring clients. Like you just have to run them every single month, especially if you're just starting off. You could be in a point like Parker where if he's getting married or going on a vacation or the holidays where he's already built up a book of business of $10,000 plus in recurring revenue, you can have the privilege to turn those ad platforms off because you already have a book of business that's making you money no matter what, regardless. But if you're just starting off and you have no clients, like you want to just be running these ad platforms because unless you have a ton of connections in your market or you have a plan to spend 6, 7, 8 hours a day just doing cold outreach and just firing off on lead lists or going door to door, whatever that situation looks like you don't want to be doing that. You don't want to have one bucket that relies on all of the money that your business is making. You want to have ad platforms where instead of getting leads yourself, they're coming inbound. So like the whole point of these ad platforms is to have inbound leads, qualified inbound leads that you can close, and then with the plan of turning them into a recurring customer where now you are stacking more monthly recurring revenue for your business 1 month, 2 months, 3 months down the road.
And at least from my perspective, I've already grown to a point now where my business is going to do 6 to 7 grand in profit without me running a single ad, getting a single new customer. If I turned the phones off for a month, I'd make 6 to 7 grand in profit. And that is only just the existing base of customers that I already have in my company.
And you got 85% of those from paid leads.
Almost all of them, probably 75 to 85% of them came from at one point paying for that lead. But over the lifetime, I mean, these ad platforms have paid for themselves 100 times over. So keep that perspective as you venture into the paid marketing space. And if you already have been and you've been discouraged, hopefully this gives you a refreshed frame of mind to attack it from. In one of our next videos, I'm going to go over some of the organic sides. If you're somebody who doesn't have money to spend on ads right now, you can still grow businesses. We had a few people that came through our program, Josh and Alan, who grew an $11,500, almost $12,000 a month commercial cleaning business with $0 in ad spend, all through cold outreach. And the platforms and the strategies of organic marketing that they used are extremely replicable. So in a future video, we are going to walk through all of that. So make sure, if you haven't already, smash that subscribe button. If you have any questions for us, leave them in the comments. And if you are ready to start your own cleaning business, you can always book a call with us in the link below in the description of this video.
Yeah, guys, book a call. It's going to be the first link in this video. Take your time, fill it out. There's even a free training video too. The application is like 6 questions. Don't do 1 word or 1 sentence answers. We're looking, me and Parker specifically are looking at all these different applications. And if you don't take 5 to 10 minutes to fill it out, if you're not actually serious about this, you're not going to be getting on a call with us or someone on our team. So just make sure that you take the time, fill it out. We get maybe 30 of these applications a day. They're free, but not every single person gets them and able to be on my calendar, to be on Parker's calendar, to be on someone on our team's calendar. So it's an application. You have to get approved in order to get that free consultation calling. So that's the best advice that I can tell you about that. But we're going to be having a lot more higher level content like what Parker was saying before on this channel. So again, subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to Parker's YouTube channel. He's going to be posting a lot of the vlogs that we're doing down here in Miami, a lot of like kind of behind the scenes entertainment. So if you guys are interested in that kind of content, you can give him a follow too. And then we have all our other socials down here, but don't hesitate to reach out or fill out that form. See you in the next video.